Jeez Louise. We definitely are taking a bit more damage than I'd like. Let's get rid of our smiter, or at least try to. And doesn't quite do the job, but gets pretty dang close. And a poison breath to finish it all off here. Holy moly. Well, it's been an interesting last few moments at the very least. Fortunately, there weren't more Orc Knights. If all of those Sons of Guns had been mited this entire time, then we definitely would have found ourselves between rock and hard place. But as is, not the end of the world. Ooh, even the Warlord. Only given a single chance to even try to attack us and not doing any damage, so that's fantastic. But I would like to back off here. There we go. As soon as our priest friend gets within poison range, we can at least get them in the cloud, so that's beautiful. Poison breath tier 2 seems strong. It definitely is. At least at this stage in the game, you know, where most enemies are going to be fairly vulnerable to poison, it is doing fantastic work for us. So I do love to see that for sure. And hopefully the rest of this goes fairly smoothly. You know, we've taken care of a decent number of knights, high priests, and sorcerers. So hopefully that is, you know, about as bad as it gets, and the rest of this is a bit more straightforward. Slimy Ringmail on Mark is a potential option for us. Again, Ringmail is generally good enough. Ooh, an artifact shortbow. I don't really want to reduce back to shortbow damage, but you never know with an artifact. It could be like plus 12, in which case I think it pretty much evens out. Oh, I'll try it out. It's worth checking. It's not plus 12, but it is plus 11 and dex plus 7. Huh. So base damage rating of 32 over 30. Does not attack any faster. I think the freeze... Does the freeze go off of base damage or total? I feel like it must be base, no? Interesting. Freezing deals an additional 1/4 of any damage that pierces defender's armor. Okay. So it is just damage. Interesting. Well, we'll try that out. 30 plus 7 brings us up to 34 dex. Ooh, a scroll of acquirement could be nice. At the very least, it should pay for itself, even if it's not ideal. And in fact, that's probably a decent argument to try and save up some money here and grab that son of a gun. Still need a decent chunk of change, unfortunately. You know, all the money that is usually lying around Orc largely got gobbled up. In fact, I think a lot of the money that we've been potentially having a chance to pick up over the course of our adventure has been very quickly picked up from our slime friends. So is it worth it to try and save up for the acquirement scroll? I mean, if only I hadn't bought the bow. I was doing so well for, you know, let's not buy anything, let's just wait a moment instead and, you know, see if there's anything in the mix that would change our mind drastically, and there did end up being one in there, but unfortunately I got a wee bit too greedy. Interesting. Yeah, Jivya is basically anti-Gozeg, exactly. The one thing they agree on is turning bodies, you know, transmuting bodies from one form to another. One case, that's gold. In the other case, it's, I would assume nutritional value for slimes. Potentially not. Maybe they just eat for fun. Maybe they just eat kind of innately or as a byproduct of their general state of being. Oh no, I'm not a slime expert. I always trust the expert zoologists in the field. For all you slime ranchers out there. Okie dokie. Hey, Connells. Yeah, definitely was pretty happy to luck into finding Jivya from an early Fated Altar, so we've been maxed out on piety for a long time now. Definitely making for an interesting endeavor, to say the least. But okie dokie, I guess next up here... Oh man, what do we wish to do? Maybe just find it? Can I give a short explanation for what Jivya does? I don't know if I'm qualified to, just because I have very little idea, but we can definitely take a look here. I know the big one is this health and magic regeneration. This was always overpowered back in the day with deep dwarves, because they supposedly were not supposed to have any health regeneration, and that's the whole gimmick. Except this counted. So my deep dwarf run in Great Player was basically cheated through using a lucky Jivya altar. Protecting from corrosion, that's pretty normal. The mutations are a big part. Jivya has a huge list of custom mutations that are unique to them. You can't find them any other way through potions or enemy mutations, and they're all beneficial, so you can have some really good mixes. It also often takes away negative mutations, so that's fantastic. And then yeah, calling acidic ooze from nearby walls. This is kind of like frozen ramparts, but it deals acid damage instead of cold damage, and you can move. So it's extremely powerful. Then turning foes into slime, I really don't have a great idea of this Slimify. It didn't seem to be working last time. I was hitting a living thing. I guess, oh, maybe arrows don't count is what we learned, because I was shooting arrows at a Hydra. And maybe it lets me cast it, but I would have to smack with my bow. You know, it's probably nice that you asked me to give a brief little intro here, because I'm revealing things that I didn't even notice when they were happening in front of my very eyes, but that's fine. And then last but not least, we expel jellies when seriously injured, so we become our very own version of the royal jelly, and can get a little bit of additional help trying to escape from any nasty situations, so that's always fantastic. This floor we left behind. Is this El Roca? Oh no, I just got excited because I found the entrance to Orc, so we might as well finish off this floor, potentially the next as well. Usually I like to go down to D12 before dipping my toes into the S branches there. So let us finish this off. Yeah, no problem at all, Connells. Again, I'm not the most qualified. I played the only good Jivya run I've had in the past was that Deep Dwarf one that I mentioned earlier. Otherwise, this would be the furthest I've gone besides that. So definitely some bigger Jivya fans that have come up in the chat throughout my time streaming. They would have a little bit of a better idea as to what all one can expect from our slimiest of friends. Hello, hello. Regardless, definitely an interesting choice for us here. Again, our Fated Altar had an option between Jivya and Chabriados. Third option was Zin, which I don't care for that much, but could have always changed over to the Shining one, or I guess really anyone, since the good gods don't really care if you leave them, as long as you don't go to one of the evil buddies. Bam, bam, bam. But that is fine. I guess we will now head back up to Lair. I'm trying to remember, what did we... This floor was El Roca. Hey, there you are. Let's see if our natural willpower is better off now. 17% chance of banishment? Probably still not quite worth it, but getting pretty close, especially since it's likely I just killed them in 2 or 3 turns. You know, if all goes well. I feel like Jivya with the new transforming stuff, or you like Jivya with the new transforming stuff? Interesting. Does it largely impact the way the runs go? I guess regardless, Slimify and Oozomancy synergize pretty well with those approaches. In fact, a melee approach is really nice for Oozomancy, because you just put yourself in a corridor and basically screws over every enemy as they approach you. I'm watching my YouTube videos and seem to win every time, so obviously expect me to be a god gamer. I'm curious what time period you're watching from, because I definitely just poured everything over 1-to-1. So I feel like most of it would have to be losing, but maybe I was a god gamer at some point for a little bit. I mean, yeah, definitely. No, I'm incredible. Thank you. It's nice for someone to finally realize my incredible gaming prowess. Definitely fully deserved and not at all just an illusion based on a subset of runs or anything along those lines. I mean, at the end of the day, if you go back far enough, we did have our 4 victory streak that was like very early on in the Great Player series. Never been even close to seeing that since, but that's fine. The mutations are cool in combination with, for example, the beast transformation. Interesting. Well, the losses don't count, you see. Ah, yes. A like-minded individual for sure. The losses, I mean, really it's intentional. Depending on when you ask me, I'll either say it's for suspense for the audience sake, definitely not of any fault of my own, or the other one is engaging in a practice run, or killing off characters on purpose because they're just not fun. Silly me. But let's see, we lose our horns, we lose part of our barb again, feel frail, so some of our robustness is gone. That's fine. Jelly growth is reabsorbed into my body. Interesting. Back to fully transparent. So we got less transparent and then also more transparent. Cool. No need to make up your mind on that, Jivya, I guess. But awesome. I guess we'll continue on. Uzumancy should do fairly well for us in Spider if we do find ourselves in a bit of a nasty spot. As long as our nasty spot doesn't look like what we just entered into there, which is just a hugely empty zone. Oh gosh. Confusion is also a problem for me. Oh my gosh, please stop the confusion. There we go. Okay. Even just one turn, I think I have to put out a bunch of poison and then try and take care of our summon friend first and foremost. And then we'll just fire arrows in random directions. Oh, no curing potions. Making this real rough. Hey, look at that, random arrow. Oh, I guess I just realized maybe we don't want to fire off random arrows because we could have hit our slime friend there at the end. Jivya would not have liked that. But actually, now that I'm thinking for a moment, should I potentially go to Shoals prior to Spider? We're well suited for Spider in a lot of ways, don't get me wrong, but the main issue therein is our lack of curing potions. So as soon as we find ourselves being affected by confusion, we're kind of just in, hope we make it out mind state, which is not ideal, not great. We'll at least finish off this floor. Again, potentially to our own detriment, but that's fine. Bit of corrosion should be alright as well. Fantastic. And hopefully there isn't too much more for us to deal with here. Poison breath should go a long way as long as I remember a little more often to actually use it. Could be nice, could be fun. And yeah, even an Emperor Scorpion is no problem. We did just a moment ago when I was paused and talking about, whatever I talk about all the time here. I did notice that we had a Ring of Protection in our inventory that I hadn't noticed prior to that, so that is fantastic. A bit more armor class for our trouble. And not too shabby. Drogumo causing a bit of issue with their paralysis there, but nothing we can't handle. Hey Roga, thank you so much for the reminder. We should definitely use those ID scrolls. I think we've had them for a long while now. And look at that, curing. Wow. It's a gosh darn miracle. Oops. Let's try that again. We'd used up all of our scrolls there, so that's perfect. And let's do another peek as well. How much money do I have? Ooh. I do have enough money for the scroll requirement. So let's go see. I'm almost kind of hoping this just gives me garbage, because if it just gives me garbage, then I can guilt-free take the money option. that, again, is to continue chaining on hopefullys to the statement, is hopefully more money than we're spending on it. Never a guarantee, but is oftentimes the case. Plus 12 crystal plate armor. Contamination, so much positive energy, and stealth. Perfect. Manual of evocations would be pretty solid, but I think I will just go with gold. I mean, let's double check what's in it for us. Regen amulet would be huge. I'm currently not using an amulet at all. And then rechargeable evocables could be nice. Who knows what this slimy ringmail does? It could be the greatest thing this world has ever seen. So let us do just that, shall we? Let's start with condenser vein. I'm okay with scroll of summoning as well. And then let us next, I guess, go for the regen. Ooh, I'm very quickly burning through our small supply of cash here. But the armor is probably least important, just because we're doing okay for the moment here. Not the end of the world. Slime ringmail is appropriate. You're not wrong. Dang it. Now I'm regretting my choices, and I should have not bought that. I guess even not buying the summoning scroll wouldn't have been enough. I would have had to not buy the condenser vein. Okay, keep that in mind. We only need like 100 and some change before we can buy some slimy chainmail. So that would be lovely. Back up we go. In fact, I'm not sure if we actually made it down to Spider 2, so let's be a little more careful with that. Okay, we did. Can never trust my unconscious brain, even though, you know, broken clock is sometimes right. So that's totally the expression. Still wouldn't trust it as far as I can throw it, and I can probably throw my own brain pretty far. Actually, no, that's a lie. Because as soon as I take it out of my skull, I'd very suddenly find it exceptionally difficult to throw it any meaningful distance whatsoever, so... It's a good point, brain. It's a good point you countered yourself with. Let's throw down some poison clouds again, fantastic. And hopefully all of Spider goes this smoothly. Wouldn't that be nice? That is at least the dream as it stands. We'll have to see. You know, all pending further notice here, because Spider has a tragic history of very, very quickly taking a turn for the worst. Scrolls of Amnesia we shouldn't need. My advice in introspection is an inspiration. Yeah, for all of you young ones out there, take my advice. Don't forcefully pry and remove your brain from your skull and attempt to throw it. It won't work very well. And not everyone is brave enough to state that, you know? And I think that's pretty messed up. Oh me, oh my. Well, there we have it, just about done. You found the head of Vecna, are you sure? Oh, you know, that is a good point. No, I'm familiar with Vecna, but not too sure. What does their head actually do? Man, I have no idea where I want to put my skills in this game. I guess evocations, now we do have a condenser vein, so that at least does something for us at the end of the day. We might also want some armor training, if that ringmail ends up being anything of value. Let's do it. Let's train a little bit of armor to have that prepared. And the other thing I wanted to do here, I immediately had my normal issue here, where I read the comment from Brain, and then immediately just nodded and laughed instead of actually thinking about whether I actually know it. lured into a trap by a fake magic item. Adovecna, believing that they will get vast magical powers, they replace their own head with Adovecna. Ah! Well, that would do it. Several party members decapitate themselves and die. Well, I won't stop you, brain. I mean, you removing your own brain is just a complete loss of self, no? So probably even greater effect for you, but I'm sure it couldn't possibly go wrong at the end of the day here. But okie dokie, we are down to Spider 4 already. Holy moly, time flies when you're in a murderous rage. Oh, go rock slime. Heck yeah, brother. In fact, let us deal with our orb slinging friend instead. So yeah, we can get rock slimes when we take damage. Holy crap. It'd be nice if we could have, you know, guaranteed we held on to this robust, or these robust mutations, seeing as how we have multiple of them. Because that additional health pool helps in a huge way, allowing us to just continually poop out slimes for as long as we live, but I guess it is what it is. I'll randomly fire until any slimes enter the vicinity, and then we'll have to be a little more careful. Also trying to watch for when the confusion leaves us, hopefully soon. Okay, stop the confusion generator first, and then Shock Wasp shall follow. Beautiful. Not too shabby here at the end of the day. Definitely break ourselves out of the nest, or the net rather, as soon as possible. Beautiful. And holy, we are still somehow continuing our generally upwards trajectory, which is shocking to me. Let's see. Poison, please. And then, okay, you're not a summoned one, so you can get special treatment, and then everything else should probably focus on our summoning friend here. And in fact, let us add some constricting roots to the equation. That seems like it could be a pertinent option. Beautiful. Ooh, Moth of Wrath can definitely be an annoying issue for us here, but that's fine. And dang it, we get more frail, feel an ache in our throat. Oh, does that mean we lost our version 2? Poison Spit? That's a bit too bad. But body partially splits into a small jelly, begin exuding ooze, and there's a nasty taste in my mouth for a moment. Less in control of my magic, so let's double check that. No, I still exhale a cloud of poison. That much is the same. Still have one robustness, yeah. And small jelly's back. Interesting. So I don't know what all this throat stuff was about. What if I lost, gained? What's going on? Oh, I'm gonna have a difficult time, I feel, keeping track of just the sheer number of mutations that come through, especially since I'm largely unfamiliar with any of the Jivya mutations. But they seem nice so far. They seem great. Let me... Can I fire it myself with this? Oh, I can. Heck yeah, brother. I want no confusion. The issue with that... Oof. In fact, yeah, as soon as I clear the enemies on this right side, the Orbs of Destruction can kind of do their thing, which is not great. Oozamancy, how you do for us here today? Yikes. Well, yep. There comes the orb. Pop around the corner just in time for the Orb of Destruction, at least. And there we go, Orb Spider down. Holy moly. Let's just let our regen... So between Jivya's regen and our amulet, we're sitting at almost 3 HP per turn. That's not bad. Probably fairly happy with that at the end of the day. Okay, no idea how that orb ended up taking that trajectory, but I'll take it gladly. and hide from that final orb as it just does its rotation patrol across the general area. Interesting.